Radhe Krishna, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. Welcome to Tirkolur Pinpillai Rahasyam episode number 37. Words have a special power. They can heal and at the same time they can also do harm. That is why our scriptures always encourage the use of positive words. Now, what we speak depend on what we think, and what we think and speak will result in what we do. Thus, our thoughts, speech and action, everything is correlated. In today's world, when negativities are magnified, the use of positive thoughts, speech and action will always ensure that we are able to face any specific situation in our day-to-day lives in a calm and a peaceful manner. Tirkolur Pinpillai is triggering a lot of positive thoughts in our minds and hearts. If we are able to follow what is the message she is trying to give through her Bhakti Rahasyams, it will help us to think positively, speak positively, and hence our actions will thus be positive. So this will help us in our day-to-day lives. So in our today's Bhakti Rahasyam, Tirkolur Pinpillai is benchmarking herself with someone who is very close and who is very special to Swami Ramanuja. So this episode is not about any of the great personalities from our epics like the Mahabharata or Ramayana or any of the Puranas, or even it's not about any of the great Alvars who were the Vishnu saints, but it is about a great Acharya or a teacher, a spiritual teacher in the Vaishnavite tradition, that is those who follow Lord Vishnu as the supreme, that is the Vaishnavite school of thought. And this school of thought has seen a lineage of great acharyas, great teachers who have given timeless messages of devotion through their experiences, through their learning and a lot of other things. So in today's Bhakti Rahasyam, Tirkolur Pinpillai, her statement to Swami Ramanuja is, did I get to hear the secrets from the Lord directly, like Tirukatchi Nambigal? So Tirukatchi Nambi, he is the Acharya who I was just referring to. So let us see something about him and what were the secrets which the Lord directly conversed with Tirukatchi Nambigal. Now, Tirukatchi Nambi was born in a family which was doing trade and business. Now, his father had, in the course of distributing his wealth, he gave a certain portion of his wealth to his sons and encouraged them to invest in business and thus to carry out their family trade. So Tirukatchi Nambi and his brothers got a share of their father's property and each started to invest in their respective businesses. But Tirukatchi Nambi was a great devotee of the Lord. So he invested the money in a different manner. That is, he set up a huge garden for the Lord, and from there he started doing garlanding service to the Lord Varadaraja, who is one of the forms of Lord Vishnu in the holy place of Kanchipuram, the holy site of Kanchi near Chennai in the state of Tamil Nadu in India. Now, Tirukachchi Nambi's time was entirely devoted to Lord Varadaraja of Kanchi. After a period of 2 years, his father called all his sons just to take a status of how they were doing in their respective businesses. Each of the brothers gave their account of what they have done so far. When Tirukachchi Nambi's time came, he said he has invested the entire wealth in something which is imperishable. Now his father was curious, what is this imperishable asset where Tirukachchi Nambi has invested the money? To which Tirukachchi Nambi replies that he has set up a huge garden for the garlanding service of the Lord, and since the Lord is imperishable, the money has gone into this imperishable asset. He was full of devotion, but his father couldn't accept this particular argument. He felt that Tirukachchi Nambi was of no use and he asked him to leave the house. Tirukachchi Nambi didn't say a word. He started out. He went to various places. He found his own acharya, his own spiritual master, who advised him to go back to Lord Varadaraja temple in Kanchi and continue doing service to him. With that guidance, Tirukachchi Nambi came back to Kanchi and he felt that he should do or take up a different service other than the garlanding service. Garlanding he was anyway doing, he wanted to do something more. So once he was in the temple, he was worshipping the Lord, he could find that the Lord was in fact perspiring. So that's when he felt that he has found his call. Immediately he got his next service in the form of fanning the Lord Varadaraja of Kanchi. So day in and day out, our Tirukachchi Nambi was in the shrine before Lord Varadaraja with pure devotion, with all humility. He fanned the Lord to give him air. Now, seeing his devotion and humility, Lord Varadaraja gave special blessings to him. He started conversing with Tirukachchi Nambi. Now, the Lord, who is present in everything and in everyone, he is talking to us continuously. But we have bags filled with anger, greed, jealousy, lust, and full of such material desires, qualities, that we are not able to hear the Lord speaking to us from within. But that was not the case with Tirukachchi Nambi, that he could clearly converse with the Lord while carrying out the fanning service. Thus developed a great friendship and bond between the Lord and his devotee, to the extent that people, whenever they wanted to give special prayers or convey something to the Lord, they always chose to approach Tirukachchi Nambi, who they were confident that he would reach their message to Lord Varadaraja. Even Swami Ramanuja once, it's the same Swami Ramanuja to whom Tirukkolur Penpillai is narrating these Bhakti Rahasyams. He also once found himself in a position where he approached Tirukachchi Nambi. What happened was, there were some doubts in Swami Ramanuja's mind which he wanted to clarify with the Lord. So he approaches Tirukachchi Nambi and explains his situation. He says there are some points, some things which are coming over and over into my mind. Now, whether those are the right things, I need to be guided by Lord Varadaraja. So I have this request before you. Why don't you go and ask Lord Varadaraja if whatever I, that is Swami Ramanuja, is thinking in my mind is in the right direction or not. Swami Ramanuja did not divulge what were the thoughts in his mind. He just requested Tirukachchi Nambi to ask the Lord if Swami Ramanuja's thinking was in the right direction or not. Tirukachchi Nambi gladly accepted, because he knew that Swami Ramanuja was also a great devotee and he was a great acharya as well in the making. So at the right time, Tirukachchi Nambi asks Lord Varadaraja that he had Swami Ramanuja coming to him and there were certain questions in his mind whether they were fine or not. At this juncture, Lord Varadaraja smiles and he says, I was the only one who planted all these points in Swami Ramanuja's mind. So it is I who had explained all these points to him, yet he doesn't listen to me. He wants to listen it through you, O Tirukachchi Nambi. So I'll tell you these secrets. With this, Lord Varadaraja explained 6 secrets of spiritual well-being to Tirukachchi Nambi. We can in a way also call this as Varadaraja Gita, because he is giving some pointers. The Lord himself is giving some pointers for healthy spiritual progress. For me, it is similar to the Bhagavad Gita which Krishna said to Arjuna, and it was Sanjaya who was seeing and hearing all this. So here Varadaraja is giving a message to Swami Ramanuja through Tirukachchi Nambi. So let us see what these 6 secrets are. So Lord Varadaraja says as the first point that I am the Supreme Lord. That is a very simple and to the point narration, that he is the Supreme Lord. The second point, he says that there are 2 distinct entities, Jivatma and Paramatma. Jivatma is the soul which is present in everyone, that is the life-bearing soul. Once the soul is out of the human body, the human body is as such rendered of no use. Equally, he says that there is another entity called the Paramatma, which is the super soul, and I am that super soul which is dwelling in everyone's body, and I am witnessing whatever the soul, that is the Jivatma, undergoes. So the first point is Varadaraja is the Supreme Lord, that is the form of Vishnu. So he's saying that Lord Vishnu, as Lord Vishnu, I am the Supreme and I am the Super Soul or the Paramatma sitting in everyone's body, and I am distinct from the soul or the Atma. The third point, he says, is surrendering unto me is the best or the easiest form of liberation or moksha. This is the exact thing which Lord Krishna also mentions in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where he says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Mam ekam sharanam vraja, which means surrender unto me alone. This is the third point in Vardaraja's Gita, where he says that surrendering is an easiest form of liberation. As the fourth point, he says, one who realizes and follows the first 3 points truly in one's life, for such a person, liberation is guaranteed, moksha is guaranteed. Wow. So these are turning out to be great, fascinating secrets which the Lord is divulging to Tirukachchi Nambi. So as the fifth principle, the Lord says that I will be personally with such a person who follows the above 4 principles at the time of his or her death. To give some more context on this point, again we go back to the Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord in chapter 8 says, whatever a person thinks of at the time of his death in a particular birth, the person attains the same thing in the next birth. So there are a lot of stories in our Puranas which explain this concept, where we have a story of Bharata Maharaja, who was a king in his early days, and towards the end he lived the life of a hermit away from all the hustles and the bustles of his kingly life. As he was doing spiritual progress, it was almost certain that he would get liberation. But towards the end, he happens to see a beautiful deer roaming around his hermitage, and his mind goes and gets stuck with that deer. Now he is continuously taking care of that deer, leaving aside his spiritual practice, and in this way, once he meets his end, our Puranas say that Bharata Maharaja had to take the birth as the deer in his subsequent life, but still, because of his strong spiritual practices of the previous birth, he could still remember all these spiritual practices. So yet in the body of the deer, he could continue his spiritual practice, which enabled him to attain the life of a saint subsequently, and thereby attain moksha or liberation. So as the fifth point, when we connect the dots, when we know this point for now, that whatever one thinks at the end of one's life, that is what the person becomes in the next life, there is an equal amount of stress which comes in, because death can come to anyone at any time. So how does one guarantee that what is one thinking? So here again the emphasis is on all these positive and divine thoughts, so that even if the end were to come at any time, it would ensure that there is liberation towards the end. So here what Lord Vardaraja is saying is, one who follows all these 4 points as above, realizes me as the Supreme, realizes me as the Paramatma, surrenders unto me. So for such a person, he or she need not worry when the end time would come. Whenever the time comes, I will be there personally with him or her, and will ensure that the person is liberated or given moksha. As the last or the sixth point, it's very important. Lord Vardaraja says that one should attain a spiritual master or a spiritual guru who will show the true path, the path to spiritual liberation as well as devotion. Now, hearing these truths or 6 secrets, Tirukatchi Nambi is fascinated. He immediately questions Lord Varadaraja. These are beautiful things, but why did you never discuss these with me in the past? We have been talking for so many days, we have been conversing regularly, yet this is the first time I am listening to these beautiful things. To which Lord Varadaraja beautifully replies that, Tirukatchi Nambi, there is no need for me to tell you these secrets separately, because you are already following these principles. Swami Ramanuja asked specifically, that is why I chose to tell you. And again, in spite of me planting these thoughts into Swami Ramanuja, he still wishes to hear from you. So in a way, I have conveyed these to you at the right time, at the right moment. So Tirukatchi Nambi is elated and he goes to Swami Ramanuja and explains everything what Lord Varadaraja had to say. Swami Ramanuja is equally elated to have his thoughts confirmed, have his doubts confirmed directly by the Lord through Tirukatchi Nambi. And this is the point which attracts Tirukkolur Penpillai's attention. She feels what a great devotee Tirukatchi Nambi was for the Lord Varadaraja himself to narrate these secrets, or as I call it, the Varadaraja Gita, to Tirukatchi Nambi. And that was the point by which the entire world came to know about these 6 secrets. So, where is such a great devotee and where I am? So, O Swami Ramanuja, there is no point for you to insist that I stay in this divine land of Tirukkolur, which is a great land of devotees. So, what is the message for us from this particular episode? Apart from Tirukatchi Nambi's great devotion, even the 6 secrets of spiritual life, which was divulged by the Lord himself, is equally for us to follow. If Lord Krishna said the Bhagavad Gita in Dwapara Yuga to Arjuna, consisting of 700 verses, so if people would feel that it is very difficult to follow the Gita, is there something very simple, easier than the Gita for us to follow? Then the recommendation is to follow these 6 secrets, which essentially is a summary of the Gita as well, which people can follow it. Those are only 6 pointers. So if one can follow these 6 spiritual principles, it will ensure that the path to spirituality is guaranteed, the path to liberation is guaranteed, and one can lead a very peaceful and happy life even in the normal circumstances. So that was the greatness of this great spiritual master Tirukatchi Nambi from our current Bhakti Rahasyam. So stay devoted, stay blessed and stay tuned for our next Bhakti Rahasyam. Radhe Krishna, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha.